So first of all, thank you very much for talking to me, and congratulations on the film. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
If I could start my first question for you, Rafe.
Yeah.
I understand from talking to David Hare, the writer, that it was you who came to him with the project. So what was it that interested you in the story of Nureyev?
The story of the young Nureyev interested me as a film, culminating in his decision to defect. That seemed to me a very beautiful arc of a story, not a general biopic as such. And I'd had that idea when I'd come across the early chapters of a biography of Nureyev many years ago. Only now, being able to get behind the camera on 2 other films, I suppose I had the kind of temerity to take on this sort of huge figure. But I thought I couldn't. The Nureyev, the famous Nureyev, was never of really cinematic. I mean, interesting just as a character, of course, to read about. But as a film, it was this boy becoming Nureyev. That was the interesting thing about the self-realization of a young artist.
And Oleg, congratulations on your debut acting performance.
Thank you.
It was brilliant. I did not know that you'd never acted before until I read up afterwards. I understand that you were emailed about the role, and originally you ignored it. What was it that changed your mind?
То есть, как я понимал, он сначала по e-mail про роль сказали, и вы проигнорировали, что заставило вас передумать.
Не я проигнорировал, это было так написано просто в социальной сети, очень много спама на самом деле же в интернете, поэтому я подумал, что это одно и то же из спама.
It's not that I ignored, just the way it was written, it was on social media where there was lots of spam, and I thought it was spam, so I deleted it.
Oh, obviously it wasn't spam. Rafe, you set yourself quite a few challenges with this film, performing in Russian and also taking an acting role and directing, which I believe you've done with your previous 2 directorial films as well. What did you want to do first? Did you know you wanted to play Pushkin and direct?
No, I didn't want to be in it at all. I could see it was a wonderful part, Pushkin, and we identified Pushkin, David Hare particularly, and myself. I mean, we thought this is a wonderful figure. He was a great, great teacher, wise, kind, wise, inspired teacher. And it was a great part. And I could feel the forces, the finance/producerial forces, wishing I would play Pushkin, because I wanted to cast Russians as Russians and French as French, speaking their native languages. And I caved only when someone said, but you're trying to put a film together with actors who are great but are not known. And by committing to a film that would be largely in subtitles, it would be Russian and French and some English, you got to think about the sort of profile of your cast. And then they said, if you play Pushkin, it might help. So then I kind of folded, and I knew what a headache it would be, because I'd already played Russian. I mean, they revoiced me. I mean, my Russian, I think, is a bit better in this, but to Russian ears, I probably have an accent. But anyway, I mean, the priority then was to make the film, and that was hard. It's hard it's hard enough to direct yourself in a film, but to do it and speak Russian was.
Well, you certainly convinced me. And Oleg, my final question for you. You are an accomplished ballet dancer yourself. So what was it like to dance as Nureyev? How did you have to change your own performance?
Yes, I like dance like a Nureyev. We do it in like plastic, more like like an animal for going to the stage and show look at me. I'm the best. I want to show myself in the world, and this is interesting feeling when you dance and you feel this. What do you do when you go into stage? And this is interesting for me too.
Thank you very much. I think I'm being kicked out.
There was the showmanship element of Nureyev's dancing. I think that the sense of presentation of himself to the audience is very overt. You know, kind of, you will watch me as I dance. That was something that.
Да, это было самое интересное, когда ты стоишь за кулисами.
It's actually the most interesting part was when you're behind the curtain, not on stage.
Самое интересное было в голове, когда мы обсуждали с Рейфом, что перед тем, как ты выходишь, ты должен говорить про себя я сейчас, вот там все в зале, кто вы сидите, я сейчас возьму вас вот прям вот за сердце.
Backstage, we're talking with Ralph, and Ralph was saying, well, what's important for you to think now is that you're coming on stage now and you are going to grab the audience.